welcome to 209coach.com. I want to do a video for you today kind of explaining the leg coil and the pullback. I get a lot of questions regarding how to apply it, and unless you're used to it, it's not very common. A lot of coaches kind of teach hitting off the front leg where you're kind of cutting across and then you're literally like dragging your body to the left because you're hitting off the front leg, which basically causes you to, once you hit, you're almost hitting kind of like this. This is very common. You see it a lot in lower level baseball or softball. So what I would like to do in this video is kind of give you a little tutorial on how to apply this. Now, when I'm working with students, this is basically what I'm trying to do, is share with them the proper technique, okay? Now, what I highly recommend for all of you out there is when you set up, you really want to feel like 100% of your weight is in your back leg, and there's different ways of doing it, okay? Now, for me, when I'm working with students, I tell them pretty much just stay on your toe right here, okay? So you're basically, if I do this, I can balance myself. See that? I'm not on my front leg, so if I was to try to lift this leg, I'm kind of falling forward, okay? So the first thing I would highly recommend for you to do is just kind of set up and then feel like you can literally lift this leg, okay? If you can do this like this, you're on the right track, okay? Now, another thing is, if you watch my videos, you really want to have relaxed arms. You really want to have a lot of flexion in your arms, okay? You don't want your hands out here. You don't want your hands out like this or something like this. I see that a lot with younger players. You really want to start off with your hands between your neck and your deltoid, and you really want to feel like your knuckles are up. Now, you can be back like this, that's fine. This is all fine, okay? This is what I highly recommend. This allows you to get into your swing more effectively as you get into your pullback, okay? So once we're here, you establish this right here where you can do this. What I would highly recommend for you to do now is start to feel like your back pocket is working towards the pitcher, okay? You really want to feel a coil. Now, if you do this correctly, you're going to see as you're doing this, you're kind of staying back, okay? You're staying back. What I'm feeling right now is I'm really feeling a lot of coil in my back hip, my back leg, kind of my upper body, okay? So right here, I'm very coiled. Now, if I lift my front foot up, I can almost feel like my body is literally rotating to the left or pulling to the left. The reason why is because of the coil. Now, a checkpoint for you, and I highly recommend for you to do this in front of a mirror, okay? Do this in front of a mirror. When you're set up and you're just have yourself set up again, remember this part right here. As you're doing this coil, you want to feel like your belt buckle, if you're wearing a belt buckle, is pointing kind of in this direction, okay? If it's pointing kind of straight ahead as you do this, and it's still pointing straight ahead, it pretty much just means you're getting on your back leg without any coil, okay? Without any kind of torque, without any kind of like a rubber band effect, okay? Now, there's another part to this. This is going to be the pullback. As you're applying this particular move with the lower body, like I just mentioned, okay? We got the lower body, right? We got this going on. We're coiling. You're really feeling like you're staying back. You're feeling like you're really wound up. Your belt buckle is pointing this way. Now, simultaneously, what I would want you to do now with your top hand, okay? From a pressure from 1 to 10, I tell my students like a 3, okay? It's not an abrupt move. It's not anything forced. It's more of a technique where you're just kind of pulling back with your top hand. All right, I don't tell my students to pull back with their arms or feel a scap load. I know a lot of teachers, a lot of coaches do that. Well, I found that applying the top hand pullback, okay, allows you to get into a very good, very elite pullback without getting too coily with the upper body, where you're literally, like I see players sometimes, they start getting into their load and they literally do one of these, okay? You don't want to do any of this kind of coiling. If you watch what I'm doing here, it's a very subtle move, okay? This is what you want. You want to stay on your back leg. You want to feel this pullback with your top hand. It's a very subtle move. Now, Another checkpoint for the top hand pullback is, again, from 1 to 10 is like a 3. It's more of a technique. You want to feel like your back. Watch my back. We're on the front leg again. Remember this. We're in the front leg. We're coiling now as we go. We want to feel like my palm is facing the pitcher, my top hand, and it's going to be facing kind of in front, okay? In front of the home plate. Now it's facing this way. Now when you get there, you want to maintain the pullback. If you watch my videos, you know I constantly am reiterating, maintain the pullback, maintain the pullback. The reason why is you don't maintain the pullback and you're getting into your swing, players tend to start cutting across their body. Now I'm going to apply some pullback right now and watch what happens to my hands. At pretty much when I'm getting to heel plant, my bat is still pointing in this way. As I start to rotate, my bat is still pointing in that direction. That's because of the pullback, okay? The pullback, in my opinion, is so necessary in order for you to have a very elite hand path. When you apply correct hand path and you're getting into your swing, slow motion, your hands will work around the corner of the deltoid because of the pullback, okay? Now, when we get into the toe touch, okay? The toe touch, not the heel plant. That is when you want to allow your torso to tilt back, okay? Now watch this. When I'm doing the swing, all right? I'm in my back leg. I'm doing the pullback. I'm applying the pullback. I get to my toe touch. Once I feel that I'm at toe touch, this is when I feel the pullback. The pullback, maintain the pullback with a torso tilt. This allows my bat to work behind me. If you look at the blur of my bat, by me applying this move, you see that the bat is behind me, and from here you want to feel, as you're doing this torso tilt, like the knob is kind of working up in this way and out, okay? Watch from this angle. It's working kind of out to opposite field. When you apply this correctly, okay, and you want to do it with very smooth tempo, when you first start doing this, I would highly recommend for you to do is just work on real slow, getting to toe touch slowly. And then from here, I would highly recommend from you stay at toe touch and start feeling like your torso is going back as you're maintaining the pullback. Now again, if you do this correctly, once you actually get to heel plant, your hands should still be pretty close around the corner of the deltoid. In other words, not like this. And you will feel that your bat is going kind of upward and that way to opposite field if you're a right-hander. I would highly recommend for you to always do this in stages, because the brain does not work in a manner where you can take all this information in one day. So work on just getting where you're feeling the weight right here, vertical bat, okay? From here, once you lift your front leg, feel the coil, feel the coil, feel the coil, okay? Feel the pullback, maintain the pullback. From here, just get to here. Once you're at toe touch, just feel like you're applying the pullback. And as you're doing this, many people feel different things. I feel like I'm maintaining the pullback as my torso is tilting back. Some people feel like their arm starts to slot down, not under, but down, down. Watch my back elbow. It's down, not under, okay? It's down, not under. Then from here, you're here, and then from there, everything works in a beautiful orbit, kind of working to opposite field. And it doesn't matter where the pitch is, okay? If you get an inside pitch, you still want to feel like you're working to opposite field, okay, no matter what it is. But in order for you to be able to apply this correctly, you have to scaffold it. You have to work one piece at a time, because if you do that, your brain will master, for example, the setup, and then from there the gather, and then from there the shoulder tilt, the pullback, and then from there you'll see that that will become your natural swing, where you'll be able to kind of get into a swing and you'll be able to start applying this beautiful angle where the barrel's below the hands. Now, if you watch my videos, you know that I really talk about keeping the barrel below the hands for a long period of time. Now, a lot of players, and I've seen it work with players, they get everything right I just mentioned, right? So they're here, they're getting everything right, and then all of a sudden, they kind of start doing something funky with their bats. I tell them, let the lead elbow always work up to the height of the mouth. If you allow the lead elbow to work up to the height of the mouth, it's kind of a cause and effect, okay? It's cause and effect. Watch this as I go. I'm here, the lead elbow worked up to the height of the mouth. Immediately, the barrel's already going out that way, and the barrel's below the hands, so I can hit two and through the ball. From this angle right here, if you have a tee and the ball's right here, you're basically here and you're two and through the ball, where you get to a beautiful extension, and then from here you can release the bat. From this angle here, even if you have a pitch that creeps up on you with very high velocity, watch what's going on here. You're here and you can still get part of the ball right here, and then you can hit two and through the ball with full extension, and then you let go, okay? Players that kind of hit off their front foot, what they tend to do is they get here, and then all of a sudden they're here, and the bat is kind of going in this direction, more in that way, more towards third base instead of out to center field or right center field. Now, this little tutorial here, I hope it's been helpful to you. Remember, build your swing. It's all done in stages. You don't want to try to do all this in one day. Master one piece at a time. I hope you like this video, and again, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like if you learned something. Thank you so much.